You know what's cool? Gangsters. Gangsters, they're kind of cool, I guess. You know what's also cool? Vampires, depending on which vampires we're talking about. You know what would be even better? If we had a story where there was gangsters and also vampires, and it was Doctor Who. Hello and welcome back to this unnamed series. I joked about a title in the previous one, I think, but my whole literature club. But I'm back with another review of a Doctor Who novel. This one is another New Adventures novel. It is Blood Harvest by Terrance Dicks. Now, I wanted to talk about this one because this is the third Terrance Dicks novel I've read so far. I've read The Eight Doctors, which I did a video on, wasn't particularly impressed by it. And then I also read Time Worm Exodus, and that one I was like, wow, this is the shit. It's so good. Damn, considering how bad Genesis was, Exodus was night and day with that one. So I thought, I wanted to give Blood Harvest a try because I know it's just also set up, at the time it was to set up the Missing Adventures, and I have that one as well, Goth Opera, the prequel sequel to Blood Harvest. Currently almost done with that one. But I thought I'd at least start with Blood Harvest first. And why I wanted to talk about it is that I just found it so interesting. So there's essentially two arcs going on, two stories going on in this novel. The first one, you have the Seventh Doctor and Ace just running a bar in a neutral area and where there's no gangsters, where one of them being Al Capone. You know Al Capone, he was in Night at the Museum too. The only thing anyone knows Al Capone from, obviously. And then the other half is Bernie Summerfield on the vampire planet from State of Decay and meeting Romana 2. And the entire time I was thinking, how are these stories going to connect? Because for the huge majority of Blood Harvest, they don't. Aside from just passing mentions to one another, like the Doctor saying, "Oh no, I've left Bernie to deal with the message that Romana 2 sent me," and then the Bernie saying, "If we're ever in trouble, I can call the Doctor. He's kind of busy doing his own thing, but if we're in trouble, I press this button, he comes a running." And then also these mysterious three, the one of the main antagonists of the story, their whole observing of everything going on between both events. So normally I'd be like, what's the point? Why do we have these completely separate stories? Considering I believe in the New Adventures they did do one where they did do two books where it's just one by, I think, the Doctor by himself, and then another one with I think it was Benny and Ace, or just Benny, them together, and it's supposed to take place, both novels are supposed to take place around the same time, I think. Just decide to okay, let's just do that in one novel. I was just like, okay, how are these going to connect? But with how Terrance Dicks writes the story, I was intrigued and engaged with both of them, to where finally the connections are made. I'm like, oh, thank God, it makes sense now. It all makes sense now. Bit of a shame it took until this long to get there, but it all makes sense now, how this is all connected. Thank God. But even, like I said, even before then, I was just so interested in each story that was going on. There was a lot of times that I could barely, it's I need to keep reading, but it's no, I need to go back to work because I've just finished a break, or I need to sleep because I'm bloody tired. So I don't know, reading the book, I'm like, oh, I need to keep reading more because this is just so interesting. It's so fascinating, and I really enjoyed this story. Which I'm honestly still surprised how much I enjoyed it, because I also enjoyed Time on Exodus. The same thing. I just could not put that book down because I just needed to keep reading it, because I just enjoyed that story so much. I was so engaged and enthralled with this story. I needed to know what's going on. Like, how is this all going to end? How is this all connecting to the overall plot of like the time worm, and why is this like an alternate timeline? What's going on? What's happened? Like, I need to know, and all these other like twists thrown into it. And then it's kind of similar to with this. So, you know, I really enjoyed Blood Harvest. It's good that, you know, there's another good Terrance Dicks novel of the 3 that I own. This, you know, another good one. Thank God. But yeah, that's kind of a review of Blood Harvest. Now, I just wanted to talk about it because I just really enjoyed this book. I took a kind of a small break with the novels, and I came back to it after finishing. I came back to it to finish the Time Worm novels, and then start Love and War to be introduced to, you know, Bernie Summerfield. And then I tried reading Transit, and I was like, nah, I'm not vibing with this, which is weird because it's Ben Aronovich, and he did, if I recall correctly, he did Remembrance of the Daleks. That's like one of my favorite, like, Doctor Who stories, especially Dalek stories. And it's just like reading Transit, I'm like, wow, I'm like so bored. So I'm still technically in the middle of reading Transit, but I don't know if I'm going to go back to it because I just wasn't interested. So I decided I'm going to skip ahead to Blood Harvest. I know there's quite a few books in between, and there's certain character development with Ace that I've missed. But even then, I don't feel like I really missed much. It just seems like a more mature Ace with the 7th Doctor. But yeah, if you haven't read Blood Harvest, I'd recommend it. It's good. It's really good. I really liked it. I will say a minor criticism is that the overall antagonists, the committee, I felt were kind of weak, considering, you know, they're observing everything, trying to set everything up, and then towards the end, it's just like, I don't really care about these villains, honestly. Sorry, don't care about these villains. Not much of a presence to them. And another side note, it's funny that in 2 different novels, Terrance Dicks brings back Barusa in different ways, and he contradicts himself, because he brings back Barusa in this story, and then he brings him back again in the 8 Doctors, a completely different way. I don't know why. But no, Blood Harvest, interesting, enjoyed it so much, just wanted to talk about it. You know, I want to be a bit more positive. I'm too negative nowadays, okay? I'm getting old. I'm a grumpy old man now. I'm not just a madman, I'm a grumpy old man now. So, I want to talk about something positive, you know, lift my spirits up a bit. With Blood Harvest, really good, really fascinating, enjoyed it so much. But that's it for this video. Thank you everyone for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Remember to check out our weekly live streams, and I will see you all in the next one. Ciao.